Hello everyone, welcome once again to Scorpion Cigar Reviews. Today I will be reviewing the Alec Bradley New York 6-2. This is a basic Robusto size cigar, 5 1/4 by 52 ring. The wrapper is a Criollo 98. The binder is Honduran. The filler is Honduran and Nicaraguan, made by Alec Bradley Cigars, Alan Rubin. I'll be using a punch cut today, I believe. Let's see what we have here. Cigar has a pretty good weight to it. Not super hefty, but I've had some that were just really lightweight. Made you kind of wonder. But good firm pack. No odd lumps anywhere. Feels pretty good. The wrapper is pretty smooth, like a nice soft leather. Some minimal veining, tight seams. Looks good. Nice looking construction. Has a triple cap. Alright. The scent on the wrapper, some basic sweet tobacco notes, maybe a hint of hay and barnyard in there. The foot is where this really shines. Picking up a little bit of cocoa, the hay, some leather, some grains, a little bit of molasses, like the horse feed, the molasses coated grains. They're sweet stuff that they give them. Yeah, that's real nice. All right. Pre-draw, some cedar spice, a little bit of leather. I find typically cedar spice and leather tend to go hand in hand. I mean, they don't necessarily have to, but often that is the case. I think the way they kind of feed off of each other. Sometimes as you break that flavor apart, that's what you're able to pick up. A little of this one and a little bit of that one, and then when you process it in your mind, you come up with leather and cedar spice, and it's kind of a typical characteristic that tends to be together at the same time. Alright, that's the bulk of what I'm getting there. Let's get this lit up. Let's give that a shot. Right off the bat, I'm getting some nice peppery notes on the retrohale. Draws a little bit snug. Not too bad though. We'll see what happens. It may open up, or I may find myself having to get another cutter. Alright, for the most part, I'm just getting the peppery notes. So I'll continue smoking this, and we'll come back somewhere in the first third. See you in a bit. Here we are, about 15, not quite 20 minutes in. I did have to go ahead and get a guillotine cutter and nip some more off as the draw was tight. It helped some. but not as much as it should have. So it's a pretty tight pack, really, and I can see that it's a very tight pack. And it's actually getting pretty darn warm. I mean, it's hot out, it's 90 degrees out and not much of a breeze, but you know, I'm sitting in the shade. But regardless, I mean, it's the burn of the cigar is pretty hot. Pretty mild. Mild body, mild strength. Get a little bit of that pepper, starting to pick up a little bit of earth and some mineral, but that's about it. Not a whole lot going on in this first third. I'll continue on and I'll come back in the second third. See you in a bit. Here we are in the second third, about 25 minutes or so in. Not a whole lot going on. Picking up a little bit of maybe some subtle kitchen spices, some real soft minerals, just nothing real forward, and just now starting to pick up maybe a hint of meat. It's well balanced. There's nothing harsh about it or anything. If you really look for it, there's a little bit of sweet cedar spice in there. Yeah, it's actually getting better as I'm smoking it now. Into the second third, I'm picking up subtle hints of some of these other flavors starting to come through. So we'll see what happens when I come back in the final third. Maybe these flavors will really come forward a little bit more, be a little more defined. Perhaps we'll just have to see what happens. All right, see you in a little bit. Here I am in the final third. I've been smoking this for about 45 minutes, I guess. When I removed the label, there's a little bit of excess glue that was sticking to the wrapper. When I pulled the label off, it started to make the wrapper unravel a little bit. It hasn't really progressed from that point, so it might be all right, but it's kind of annoying, and they could have done a better job with taking care of how much glue and making sure it didn't get on the cigar wrapper. But you know, that happens from time to time. Really not a whole lot going on. There's, you know, hasn't been any changes. Still a mild cigar. The burn was pretty even until it started burning into the split, which you can see right there where it blistered and split. But other than that, I haven't had to do any touch-ups or relight at all. Subtle hints of earth, a little bit of mineral in there. That's really about it. Alright, I'll continue on and I'll come back in the nub. I'm about an hour in. I'm in the nub. The smoke is kind of dry. There's some maybe like a white pepper note. It's really about it. I did have to relight it. I tapped off the ash, and then the cigar went out almost instantly when I tapped the ash off. Ash has been kind of loose and flaky. Where the label had stuck to the wrapper and I removed it, it's starting to blister a little bit more right there, so there were definitely some issues with that. The cigar is quite soft. It's kind of warm. The smoke is kind of warm. Yeah, I mean, it's not all that good of a cigar in my opinion. By my scoring sheet that I've been keeping all while that I've been smoking it, I came up with a total of 87.5 points, and then I made some final adjustments based on my overall impressions. I took away 2.5 points, so I'm going to give this cigar an 85 out of 100 points. And the reason I deducted was because of the wrapper splitting and being kind of a one-dimensional flavor profile, and just not a whole lot going on. It's not a real pleasing cigar in my opinion, and for me, I find that to be kind of true with most of the Alec Bradleys I've smoked. I haven't been real impressed with them. Some I find a little better than others, But this is kind of consistent with the scoring that I give to most of the Alec Bradleys. Mid and upper 80s are about as best as I get with the Alec Bradleys in general. It doesn't mean that every once in a while I come across one that scores, you know, more like a 90 or something, but for me that's kind of rare. Just not my cup of tea. Now there are several blends from Alec Bradley that I haven't smoked yet, and I will eventually try those. But I'll end this review here saying that the Alec Bradley New York 6.2 basic Robusto size cigar, it's been well balanced. Just, you know, one-dimensional. It had some really good scents on the nose, but none of that carried over into the smoking of the cigar. And initially the construction looked fine, but developed some blisters and started to split a little bit, and then when I removed the label it started to come apart, and it had a tight draw. I had to go from the punch cut, I had to go to a full guillotine cut, and that did improve the draw, and initially had improved the flavors for a short while, just a few draws really, and then it went right back to the one-dimensionality that the cigar possesses. And it's starting to unravel where I did the guillotine cut as well. So I want to thank Matt Eskridge for sending this cigar in for a review. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching Scorpion Cigar Reviews. I'll catch you next time.